Well, hello there, everyone. It is Wednesday, March 2nd in the year 2022. Hopefully this finds you outstanding. Today I'm going to talk about running numbers on real estate so you can become wealthy, okay? Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I am just mazske. Okay. And I don't have like a whiteboard to hold up or stand up and do it. So I'm on a low budget here for this channel. I need more subscribers before I invest more into it. Because I'm not really sure if it's worthwhile for me to keep this channel. I don't know. What do you think? Should I keep this channel or it's up to you? Okay. Anyway, I came up with a house that I've looked at before and I got the numbers on it, wrote it all down. See? It's a small pad of paper. It's not hard to run numbers. You can use spreadsheets. You can do it by hand. I actually had it on a spreadsheet, but I just wrote it down so it wouldn't be holding my tablet up or anything, okay? All right, so if you are learning about running numbers, pause the video, grab a piece of paper and a pen and pencil, and jot the numbers down. You can see how I did it, see if you agree with my numbers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, okay? All right, for this house, it was a purchase price of $79,900. $79,900. Now, if you think you cannot buy a house at that price, well, you can. They're in the Midwest, they're in the South, they're in a large swath of the middle of the country, okay? But even so, it doesn't matter what the purchase price is as long as you run the numbers the same way. It could be $200,000, $150,000, okay? You run the numbers the same way and you come up with what the prospective positive cash flow will be. Excuse me. Okay, so with this house, I was looking at the purchase price, $79,900. I looked at getting a 30-year fixed rate mortgage on it. I am using different lenders than perhaps you would use. My interest rate may be higher, and it may be higher than what I have here. But I used the percentage of the rate of 5.25%. 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 5.25%. I looked at putting a down payment down. I can't remember off the top of my head now. I think I used a 25% down payment. I'm trying to do the mental math. 1040. I'm struggling with mental math. But I wrote down a down payment of $19,975. I believe that's a 20% down payment. Okay, don't hold me to that, but I think that's 20% down payment. So down payment of $19,975. I just used $4,500 as my closing cost. So total cash would be $24,475. So cash out of my pocket to buy this rental property would be approximately, it may be closing costs may be slightly different, okay? I'm just estimating a dollar amount, okay? But $24,475. If I get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 5.25%, should allow me to buy a house at the price of $79,900, okay? So what I did, I checked on what rents would be, and we will go on the assumption that the rent that I could get for this house is $1,050. All right, so $1,050. All right, so if you've heard about the 1% rule, that would say a house at $100,000 that rents for $1,000, that's 1%, may be an okay deal. This one's $79,900, it rents for $1,050. It may be a good deal, okay? So I checked to see what the taxes are, and the monthly dollar amount of the taxes is $65. Okay. Now keep in mind, many times I have found from experience, when I buy a house, usually within a year or two, my taxes go up. And I think it's what it is the area is reassessing. They look at my purchase price, and if it's higher than what it used to be, or what it was shown as, they may reassess at a higher dollar amount, and hence my taxes go up. Okay. I was using a monthly insurance rate of $60 a month. Okay, that may vary. Depends on who you have as your insurance company. Depends on what part of the country you're in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, my principal and interest, just using an online calculator, is $330.91. All right, $330.91. Okay, so using those figures. And I didn't write down the total expenses there. I'm sorry. I added and get together 330 plus 65 plus 60 is 125. $455 approximately is what my mortgage payment would be. Okay. I also withheld 19% because I know this house it's been rehabbed. so it doesn't need a lot of work. It doesn't need any work right now, as far as I know. And expenses should be minimal over time, and I used a figure of 19%. It's what it is 5% for vacancy, 7% for repairs, 7% for capital expenditures. Those, you have to tweak those percentages depending on the house you're buying and all that kind of stuff. And maybe and I'm thinking about raising my percentages as well, because cost of labor's gone up, cost of materials gone up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's just what I used for this example. Okay, so those numbers were capex and repairs, $73.50 for each category each month, and vacancy was $52.50. So those are the three expenses that you need to account for: the vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. And when that rent money comes in, you allocate that money towards saving it for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. You got to set that aside. I will stress that. You have to set that money aside, because I guarantee you, you will need it at some point in the future to fix something, to buy a new roof, to buy a furnace. The place goes vacant. You still need to pay your mortgage, so you better have money set aside to pay your mortgage. Okay? I will stress that you have to have cash reserves. All right? So using all those numbers, though, it worked out to, drum roll, monthly cash flow of about $310 a month. Okay? That's a cash on cash return of 15.7%. Okay, so $310 a month, 15.7%. Excuse me, got a dry throat this morning. All right, so anyway, to me, that's a pretty good deal. There's other factors to come into play. You got to actually look at the house, see what condition it's in, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You got to have, if it's not in your market, you have to have boots on the ground. That's another thing. You have to have trusted boots on the ground that can look at the property for you. Okay? They got to be able to look at the property for you. All right? So anyway, moving on from that, well, let's just think about that a little bit. You're making, if you buy this house, $310 a month. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. So you take that $310 and what do you do with it? You put it in the bank. You put it into savings. You don't put it in the stock market. You save it, because what you're doing, you save that for your next property. If you were able to save up almost $25,000 to buy this first house, however you did that, you continue doing that. Now you got an extra $310 that you contribute to your savings. So in theory, you should get to house number 2 quicker than you got to house number 1. All right, and when you get to house number 2, let's say you do it again, exact same numbers, another $310. Now you have $620 coming in a month. You keep saving it. You keep saving your normal savings from your job. You get to house number 3 quicker. You get to house number 4 quicker. You get to house number 5. All right, let's just say you continue on that path. And I don't know how much you make, so I don't know how long it's going to take you anyway to save up your down payments. But if you were to get 10 houses, if you were positively cash flowing $310, you're now making $3,100 a month. There's minimal tax on that. That's not like making $3,100 a month at your W-2 job where they withhold federal, state, and FICA tax. Okay, it's much less tax you pay on real estate. Okay, so that means you take home more money out of it than you would if it was a W-2 job. All right, so $3,100 a month, you're probably thinking that's not enough. 10 houses and I'm only getting $3,100 a month. Okay, but what could you do right now if you're working a job and you had an extra $3,100 a month? What could you do with that? You could do a lot with it. But let's say you took that and you kept saving it. What does that do? That means you get your down payment faster. Now, the beauty of this is once you get to that point, because you don't do that overnight for the average person. That doesn't happen overnight. That happens over a period of years to get up to 10 houses for most people. All right. But so over the period of years, your tenants are paying your mortgage, which you're using to pay down. The tenants are paying you rent when you use that to pay down your mortgage. Okay. So over years, your balance due gets less and less. The total balance that you owe gets less and less. At the same time, the price of houses may go up. It may appreciate. So there's things you can consider doing, such as you may want to do a cash back refinance, depending on the interest rates, and interest rates are ticking up. It seems like they did pull back. Okay, but you got to look at that. But maybe the price is appreciated enough where you have enough equity that you can do a cash back refinance, and you refinance again at a 30-year term or a 25-year term. You still want a positive cash flow, and now you pull out a chunk of cash. That equity, the equity you have in a house, what are you doing with it? All right, so if you can take that equity and use it to buy more real estate, you now increase your wealth, okay? Another thing you may decide to do, this is something I've done. I've done cashback refinances 2 times or 3 times, I can't remember now. But I've also have sold properties. I've had rental houses that for one reason or another, I deemed that they were not the best properties for me, okay? And I got my own reasons for that. And I would sell them because I knew the prices had gone up, and I bought them at a good deal, got them under market value, and I had fixed them up a little bit to force appreciation, so they were worth even more. And then I'll give you an example. I sold one house back in 2019, I think it was, and I took the money from that and I bought 4 more houses. All right, so I was getting positive cash flow from one house. Let's say it was $300 a month. Now I bought 4 more. Let's say all 4 were $250. So that means that for 4 houses, I'm now getting $1,000 a month positive cash flow versus the one house at $300 a month cash flow. See what I'm saying? And the beauty of getting more and more real estate is every year potentially rents go up. All right, so if rents go up $25 a month, $50 a month. Okay, I'll throw this out. I currently have 19 properties up in Northwest Indiana. So my property managers told me the plan is to raise rent on every single one this year, every single one. All right. So I don't know exactly if rents will go up $25, $50, $75, $100. If we have tenant turnover, they may go up $200. All right. But if you did the math, for easy math, let's say I had 20 houses and they went up $50. That's what? $1,000 a month, I think is what it is. Okay. Yeah, $1,000 a month. That's a nice little pay raise, okay, right? That's it. I didn't buy any more houses. I'm just getting a pay raise like that, all right? And that's what will happen to you. All right, so as time goes on, rents will go up. But granted, taxes will also go up. Insurance may go up a little bit. And when you do make repairs, the cost of materials, the cost of labor also goes up, okay? So you have to raise rents to account for this. But at the same time, it does increase your cash flow. All right. And as long as you keep saving your positive cash flow, you can get more and more real estates faster and faster and faster. All right. So you may be like me and get up to, say, 25. You may be like Michael Zuber and get up to whatever he's up to, 180. You may be like Robert Kiyosaki and get up to whatever he's up to, 5,000 or whatever it might be. You may just stop at 4. You may get 10. All right. But if you start buying real estate, if you get on that property ladder, I will guarantee you that as long as you do it correctly and you run your numbers correctly, that's the key, run your numbers correctly, get good tenants, increase rents as needed, make repairs as needed, keep your properties in good shape, and your wealth will increase. The average American has a very small net worth, very small for the average American. If you start getting real estate, your net worth will increase. Now, you cannot eat your net worth. You eat with positive cash flow. So the more positive cash flow you get, the better you can eat, right? So anyway, hopefully that answers your questions. James, I think you had said something about me running the numbers. So hopefully I explained to you in a good way how to run the numbers. And it gives you something to think about. And just, if you're new at this and you haven't got your first rental property, don't let this overwhelm you. Don't look at getting 10 houses or 25 houses. Look at getting 1 property. And once you get it, then you look at getting your second. And once you get it, you look at getting your third. You have to get experience. All right, you got to get experience. You have to have cash reserves. You have to run your numbers. Don't buy bad deals. All right. Learn your market. Study your market. All right. Got it? Got it. All right. It's another beautiful day here in South Florida. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do today, but we shall see. All right. Stay safe in all you do and keep loving life. Mazske is signing out.